What's cooking, Juventus fans? Welcome back to your old lady's favorite YouTube channel and what appears to be a massive start, a massive week that could be leading to very big things for Juventus in the Mercado. We're going to have all your updates, all the things going on. You know what we're talking about. De Ligt, his replacement, Zaniolo, all the other things that are happening around Juve. Stick with us. We'll fill you in. Ciao ragazzi, welcome back to the Bianconeri Zone. My name is Justin Sofro. Today, it's July 4th, 2022. It is the 4th of July. For all of my United States, I don't want to say United States, American compatriots, happy 4th of July. Celebrate, drink your beer, do whatever you do, grill some burgers, whatever we do. I apologize for everybody who's not American. USA. No, I'm kidding. For the people that aren't American, the reason I always remember stuff like this is because it's the only thing that's in my phone. As in, my iPhone tells me what holiday is today. Of course, I know when the 4th of July is. So I apologize. If you all want to remind me of the other holidays around the world, throughout the world, I'd be more than happy. Send it to me the day before, and I'll give your holiday a shout out for sure. But the reason I remember is because I'm about to do this daily video, and I'm about to get to drinking some beer, grilling some burgers, grilling some dogs. You know what I'm talking about. All right, guys. If you haven't already, smash that like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon, stay notified for all of our latest videos. I think, even though this is very inaccurate right now, we are very close. We're at like 3 subs off from 3,000 subscribers. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button. We appreciate if you guys would definitely join our community. Of course, be number 3,000. That'd be awesome as well. Definitely, let's just get into it. Without further ado, let's get into the news and what we have for you today. The very first news story is talking about Paul Pogba. What is going on with him? Well, not much. He's a Juve player, guys. He's going to be a Juve player. There's no black smoke or anything like that you have to worry about now. Nico Schietta basically just reporting that his expected medicals, signing, and official announcement for Paul Pogba with Juventus will happen this week. So there we go. Not much to go off of Paul Pogba. All right, now let's get into the meat and potatoes aspects of this. There's 2 big meat and potatoes aspects, and that is, of course, talking about the center back position, and then, of course, talking about Big Z Zaniolo later today. All right. Let's stick with this right now, and let's talk about what's going on with De Ligt and what's going on with the whole situation when it comes to the center backs for Juventus, because it is a massive update and a massive situation that Juve are going to have to corner in this Mercado. Calcio Mercado come with the very first report saying that Chelsea are pressing for De Ligt, and an offer of 70 to 75 million euros plus bonuses is expected to arrive in the next hours. A figure that is still not enough to get the go-ahead from Juventus, but negotiations continue. I mean, exactly. It's not going to be enough. Like, no offense. If you're Chelsea, I know that Chelsea can afford more than 70 to 75 million euros. You spent, what, 120, 100, I don't know, it felt like 150 on freaking Romelu Lukaku last season. And I understand you're not going to spend nearly as much for a center back compared to what you're spent on a striker. It makes sense. I get it. But De Ligt, there's all that long-term potential. And I'm not trying to sell him to you. Honestly, for me, the better option would be for De Ligt to stay. So I don't know why I'm over here trying to be a salesman and trying to sell him up to another team. But if he's, all intents and purposes, seems that he is going to leave, that he's going to want to make a move from Juventus. So if that's what he wants, let's help him out the door and let's get a little chili cheese on the side. We'll see. I think that price needs to go up to, if I'm Juventus, I'm sticking with closer to the 6-figure range, if you will. All right, let's continue on. And that's kind of what Juventus are talking about. And Tutto Sports reporting just saying that Juventus have told Chelsea they want 100 million euros cash, straight cash, homie, for De Ligt. No player to be included in the deal. We'll see if this holds out and this continues. I believe Juventus when they say this, and I think it's time that, it's about time they got to do this to a club because all the other clubs do it to them. I think if for some reason something beneficial comes to the table, maybe something along the lines of a player who is, is viewed positively by Juventus, I could see them maybe coming to an agreement of like 80 million euros plus the player. We'll see. I hope they stick to the cash. The cash makes a lot of sense. But Chelsea do have a couple options that could be intriguing to Juventus. One of those options to be, of course, I think, and he hasn't even been put on the table yet, is that of Jorginho. I think Jorginho could be interesting because we know, regardless of how you, me, a lot of people may feel about Jorginho right now, there's some positives to him And definitely one of those positives is really Juventus are definitely honed in on bringing Italian players home and then keeping that Italian core. And I think, even though he's Brazilian, he's an Azzurri player though. That Juventus would be definitely interested and intrigued by the prospect of Jorginho. The other one that could be interesting to keep an eye out on, and I don't think it's like when I say keep an eye on, just keep a very loose eye. Just like right in the peripheral, if you will. Is maybe the idea that's been thrown out of Pulisic. I don't think it's going to happen, but at the same time, Pulisic could be interesting just because obviously, Weston McKennie, USA, all that, and definitely right now, one thing we do know, whether you agree with it or not, is that Juventus are definitely pushing the brand. They're pushing branding. They're trying to reach a bigger fan base. They're trying to reach more people out there. They're trying to bring them into their fold. And the United States, I said it in an article when Weston McKennie first signed, is a fertile crescent for Juventus to really go and grow their fan base and to find more. That's the reason why they're visiting this summer. Of course, they couldn't come previous summers because of a player who has some allegations against him. Anyway, something to definitely keep an eye on. We'll see if Pulisic or anything like that ever comes to fruition. I doubt it. It doesn't seem like the smartest move. No offense. Pulisic is fine, but I think his stock is definitely on the downfall compared to what he used to be as a player. All right, and then let's continue. Let's talk about the last bit of news when it comes to the center back stuff. And Zaniolo Sports just reporting, saying that Arsenal, actually not the last bit of news, just one more after this. Arsenal want 40 million euros for Gabriel Magalhaes, Juve's number one target to replace De Ligt. Number one target. Zaniolo Sports says that's the number one target. I'll be honest. If I'm Juventus and my number one target is Gabriel Magalhaes, who I think is fine. I know Julian will fight me on this. No, I'm kidding. But I think he's fine to come if they get him. If Juventus get him in the Mercado, maybe a swap with Archer or something like that, fine. Absolutely fine. Do I think he's number one quality target? No. To me, there's two obvious ones right in front of your face. Two ones right in front of your face. That makes more sense. Let's move on to those two. And let's talk, of course, about Bremer and a little bit of Koulibaly, who's mentioned in this report. Tudo Sports saying that Juventus are back in the running for Bremer. However, Torino valued the defender between 40 and 50 million euros, an important long-term investment. Cheaper than Koulibaly and De Ligt in terms of salary. The Bianconeri are following the player closely. Obviously, given the growing interest in that of Bremer, they're going to jack those prices up quite a bit. And because it's Juventus, which makes sense. Though, I will say, Bremer, he's a damn good center back. He's a damn good defender. And he's a player that if you watched him at all in Serie A last season, I think nobody would argue that they'd be happy to have him join the squad. If you're to tell me that we're to lose De Ligt and we're going to replace him with the guy who won Serie A Defender of the Year, sign me up. I'm happy with it. That would be my top move. Me as a fan, just saying this right here. That would be my preferred move. If you can get Bremer, sign him on. He's still a younger option, an option that has a long-term future ahead of him, a good future ahead of him. That sounds good to me. Let's do it. Also, I think Bremer also can play for the. Am I right? Do I have dementia? Do I have dementia right now? Just let me know. Isn't Bremer also able to play for the Azzurri, for the Italian national team? Maybe the dementia speaking, but that's never a bad move when it comes to Juventus if you have another Italian center back. We'll see. I may have to go edit that out if I'm completely wrong and I look like an idiot now. Anyway, going off of that, though, also talking about he's cheaper than Koulibaly and De Ligt. But again, obviously, Koulibaly would be my other top option to bring into the club, definitely. And then especially when you're going to look at De Ligt now, potentially Chelsea trying to offer him 11 million euros, something like that which is insane. But at the same time, if they're willing to spend it, they got that Premier League money, they can do it. All right. Let's continue on, though. Let's move on with other topics we have here for today in the news. And that is, of course, we're going to talk about, of course, this is just a quick little tidbit. I don't know why I said of course. This is not, of course. You didn't expect, and not that you didn't expect it, but like nobody's on pins and needles waiting for this news. Nico Schietta is reporting that Coni De Winter could leave on loan. Empoli and Sampdoria are interested in Juventus' center back, Coni De Winter, on loan. So there you go. I got nothing. You want a little snarky tidbit or something to go along with it? I don't got it today. Not for Coni De Winter. All right. Let's go back and let's everybody that's still here in the video. All my Zaniolo hosts, come up. Come up to the front of the class. Come to the front of the class. Here's the update we got for you. You know you wanted to wait for it. Here it is, the Zaniolo update. And it's Zaniolo holes. Get it? Okay, anyway. Hey, whatever. All right, it didn't land. Okay. Next up, we have Nico Schietta, who is reporting on the Zaniolo situation, saying that talks in progress for Nicolo Zaniolo to Juventus from AS Roma. Juve are planning the first official bid to try to sign the Italian player. All right, let's continue on. More updates with that one. We move on. Mirko Di Natale does his thing. You know what I'm saying? Tap-in merchant. He goes on to say, I'm kidding. Okay, I'm kidding, guys. Calm down. All right. On Zaniolo, there's already an agreement with Juve on the basis of 4 million euros for 4 years. Frequent contacts with his agent. The request is at a 50 to 60 million euros, but they are working on a loan with obligation. Possible contact between the two clubs at the week. Let's go ahead. Mirko Di Natale, anybody else that's out there right now, you can drop that 60. That 60 ain't happening. I don't believe for a second that 60 is happening with Juve. Just put it at 50. Juve may be willing to pay 50. There's rumors out there that Juventus right now are willing to pay, I think it's like 10 million down on loan and then like stretch it out for a couple of years, 20, 15, 50, something, whatever. We'll see what it is. But I stand pretty staunchly firm that I don't think Juve are going to end up paying 60 million euros. I could be wrong, but I don't think so. Let's just go ahead and drop that. You can say the 50. 50's fine. Okay. It's still a little much, but it's fine. Okay. All right. Let's continue on though, and let's talk about the last bit of news, which is the biggest one about Zaniolo. What we have right here is Alfredo Padula giving his comments on it, saying that the Juve this week is the week of obviously the octopus of Paul Pogba and that of Di Maria, and the assault on Zaniolo after an early meeting in recent days, and a run up from January 30th. Then this is where the big kicker came in. Somebody on Twitter responded to him asking, what do you think, Padula? Will a deal for Zaniolo be done this month or not? And to which he just responded, next week. So basically, we're going to fire up the big Z, here we go, machine, if you will. And your boy's getting heated. Your boy's going to make sure he's off work that day. So your boy can go out here and, you know what I mean? Just dance on the graves. I'm kidding. Anyway, but Nicolo Zaniolo, for all intents and purposes, appears to be, well, I was going to say the next Here We Go we could do, but it should be, really the next Here We Go should be Cambiasso, which has already felt like it's kind of done, but then, I don't know, is he going to be loaned out? What's the situation there? Is Dragusin throwing a wrench in there? We'll have to keep an eye on all that. So the next Here We Go will either be that of Cambiasso or Nicolo Zaniolo, which even me as a Zaniolo, as a big supporter of Nicolo Zaniolo, never really thought that would honestly be something I'd be able to say this Mercado. So there it is. Take it for what it's worth for all you guys out there. And then the last bit of news we have for you today is talking about the vice to Vlahovic, who could come to Juve. Nico Schietta is reporting saying that Marko Arnautovic is still the main target for Max Allegri as Vlahovic's backup. Juventus have already talked with his agent brother, Daniel, but Bologna requests 15 million euros has been considered too high by Juve as of now. And yeah, that's where I kind of sit with this as well. I don't know. To me, I don't think for a second, I don't believe that Juventus are going to spend 15 million euros on a backup striker. I just don't see it happening. I could be wrong. Maybe they really want him that bad, but I just don't see it happening. I think maybe look for some other options out there. This is probably something that's going to wait till the later in the Mercado. They're getting some key pieces that they're going to really need right now for the future, especially when you need to look at that center back position as that continues to develop. So anyway, guys, that'll do it for today's edition of the news. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. What are your thoughts on the ongoing drama when it comes to the center back position, when it comes to De Ligt and him leaving Juventus potentially. It hasn't happened yet, allegedly, right? As well as who should be his replacement. Is it Koulibaly? Is it Bremer? Gabriel Mangalaj? You let me know in the comment section down below, as well as your thoughts on everything else we talked about today. If you haven't already, make sure you hit that like button, smash that subscribe button, hit that bell icon to stay notified for all of our latest videos, and I'll see you guys next time. Forza Juve, Forza Bianconeri.